Welcome to your first look with Racer X here at WW Ranch, the second time we've raced Lucas Oil Pro Motocross at this facility in Jacksonville, Florida. There are kids back here for Amateur Day, no press days in 2020. It's all brought to you by 6D Helmets, committed to the relentless pursuit of better brain protection. There's a kid over there in a Cobra 50 and his parents are committed to 6D Helmets because he's wearing one right now. So let's first talk about this racetrack, which is still fairly new in this championship. It ran a USGP a couple of years ago. That's kind of what really put it on the map, big time racing. Florida's flat. Look, we don't have hills here, but you do know that most of the riders do ride and train about an hour and a half from here, so they're familiar with this awesome dirt. It's sand, but it's not beach type sand. It's got a nice base to it. It's going to be cool. I think the riders will probably go with the paddle style tire, but we'll see how it all turns out in practice. But what is interesting, since Florida doesn't have natural elevation changes, they built their own. There's a big mountain over here that's only going to be used for the PreRace. Probably a bit much for the Cobra 50, so they're not using it today. They'll put that into the layout tomorrow. And then an even bigger hill that they built over on this side. You'll see the finish line jump, which has a bit of elevation to it, and then a mountain over there. So we have a little bit of the elevation change feel in Florida, which is almost impossible to have that under normal circumstances. But whatever, I like the variety of tracks. We were in Minnesota last weekend and we saw leaves changing. It was 33 degrees when we got to the track on Friday morning. It's 90 right now in Florida. It's not going to be quite as gnarly with the heat and humidity as what we had last year, where a lot of riders like Chase Sexton won a moto and then cooked himself and couldn't even finish Moto 2. It's not going to be that level, but it is going to be a physical test for the riders. It's hot and humid enough to push them, and this track is going to get super rough. So good to have a nice variety in the racetracks this year, and I am still an advocate for racing in the fall. I don't think that's something that's going to happen in the future, but I've liked the way this schedule has turned out. And with enough time left in this championship, we still have some serious talking points, starting with the very dynamic 450 class. A couple of weeks ago, Zach Osborne said the pivotal run will be the doubleheader at Redbud, and he scored the best of anyone at that doubleheader in Michigan, so it looked like the championship was all his. What a difference one race weekend can make. Adam Cianciarulo now sitting on 2 straight overalls, and he's won 3 of the last 4 motos, and because Osborne had a front flat in our last race, Cianciarulo's made up a ton of points. He's moved to 2nd in the championship. He's only 15 down on Osborne, and it's going to be a totally different matchup. I know you folks at home love to do the, if someone goes 1-1 and someone goes 2-2 through the final rounds of the championship, where will the math be? I hate that. I implore you, do not do it, because in racing it doesn't work that way. Osborne's flat tire is proof that points are not made up in little chunks here and there, but with major swings. It has swung in the direction of Cianciarulo, it has swung away from Osborne, and any level of defensive riding that Osborne was going to do to try to preserve the points lead is out the window. With 15 points and 6 motos remaining, these guys are going to have to battle heads up. And let's not forget that Marvin Musquin is only 20 points down in the championship, so he's not out of it either. And Musquin won this race a year ago. So things are changing in a hurry for the rookie Cianciarulo. I guess the biggest question is now, can he take the pressure-free strong riding and still do it now that there's a firm focus on him and this championship? Well, I had a chance to ask him in a Zoom call a couple of days ago, will anything change now that he's got the championship in his sights? He doesn't feel that way because he feels like this whole season is a bonus. After he crashed out of the opener at Loretta's, he figured the championship was gone. So why change things now? This is all a bonus.
A few weeks ago, the championship was there was no talk about it. I mean, nobody, I thought it was over as soon as I DNF Loretta's. I thought, well, okay, well, maybe we'll try to get some wins and build. But, and that's the rookie season goal really, is just to prove to yourself that you can do it and to put yourself in a good position for year 2. But now that I do have somewhat of a realistic chance of potentially winning this thing, if I keep the ball rolling, I am looking at it as a bonus, and it would be a hell of a bonus.
So there you go. It's a small sample size, 2 wins in a row for Adam, but remember, he did tip over while leading the second moto. He could have had 4 straight moto wins, but the second moto at Redbud got away from him. Can he keep this thing alive, or is it just a small sample size and a surge? You've got to figure that Osborne, as Cianciarulo has said, is going to be on the offensive this weekend. And even though Adam's a Florida native, I don't think Zach will have any problem on this terrain. He's probably going to be really strong. You got Musquin in the hunt, only 20 points back, a lot of spoilers. It's really going to be fun to watch the 450 class because it's so stacked at the top. But that's just one of the stories that we're tracking here on First Look. A couple of weeks ago on the RacerX Online site, we had to interview Aaron Hansel, talk to Ben LeMay, who's been a popular privateer for a long time. And LeMay said, yeah, I don't even have a mechanic. I'm just doing my own thing for the love of the sport. So we actually found him in the pits over there earlier today and got to see LeMay indeed wrenching on his bike alone. Unscheduled pit stop, like literally, we found Ben LeMay. Now, Ben, you've told me about this all year, that you said you were wrenching on your own bike as a privateer. But this is legit. Like, I'm actually seeing it. You are the only. There's no one else here helping you.
Yeah, exactly. This weekend is full privateer status.
Yeah.
You know, and I got some friends to take my bike here, and I literally got the tent, bike, stand, and that's it. So we're winging it, and but I go to the gate with confidence.
Yeah. So you got all your tools back here. So literally, I mean, you don't have to full on tear the motor down. Like, how far down do you have to go in the rebuild process to get ready for tomorrow?
Not too far, really. I did a lot of stuff actually right after the race last weekend.
Okay.
Because I knew that this was going to be here, so I was like, hey, I got my resources. I want to try to do everything I can the end of Saturday.
Okay.
But today I'm just kind of going over some stuff, kind of throwing some new throttle cables on it, and I already swapped my suspension out, got some fresh suspension on it and stuff. So not too much, you know, but just got to do the once over, make sure we're all good.
Okay, so you said you've basically had just some randos helping out a little bit on Saturday. So most Saturdays, how has that worked for you? You can't be pushing the bike to the line yourself, right?
No.
Okay.
You could maybe do it in Supercross.
Yeah.
You know, but outdoors you can't. It's way too grueling. You know, with the extra fuel you got to take to the gate.
Yep.
The shade. You know, the gate, all that stuff. So, but no, it's been good this year. A guy, Larry Beardsley, with L. Beardsley CPA, he's been helping me out driving the truck and trailer to the rounds, and he's been going to the gate with me. So everything's been fantastic, and just having a good time out there racing.
Yeah, is it hard to find help like that, or is it like the mechanics are like, dude, yeah, I would love to say I was a mechanic for the day?
Yeah, it is hard finding a guy that you're confident in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's very easy finding a guy that's, oh yeah, I want to go to the gate. You know, I want to go rub elbows with some mechanics, or say that I was a pro mechanic for a day or whatever.
Right.
So it is easy in that aspect. But you definitely need to have somebody that kind of understands what to ride on the pit board, you know, when to do this, when to do that, you know, wash the bike this way, whatever, you know, so.
Yeah, because you're saying like the mechanic, literally, it's like he's rubbing elbows at Eli Tomac's mechanic.
Yeah.
So for him, that's a thrill.
Oh, it's, a couple of guys, you know, like, you have like the TV monitor in the mechanics area, so you got to like explain to them, hey, this is what I need you to read.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are they're aggressive. You know, when their guys are coming out, you don't be afraid to get out there and throw the pit board in front of them. You know. But no, it's been good.
It seems fun. You're doing it on your own. Look, you've chased that elusive factory ride like your whole career, man. Where are you at now? Is this just fun? Is this just something like boxes to check because you enjoy doing it? Are you still chasing that? Where do you categorize yourself these days?
I wouldn't say I'm chasing no factory ride.
Right.
I mean, I've been in the industry for a while. I know how these rides work. I know X, Y, and Z, what you have to do to get over into the factory teams.
Yeah.
I've had fill-in rides that have been fantastic, but I am very content and happy with what I have. So it's difficult on me as a rider to be able to set up, you know, do my entries, do my flights, do my hotels, all that stuff, and then train and ride and all that, etc.
And work on the bike.
And work on the bike. So, you know, it is very hard as a privateer, but, and I know where I'm at. I'm not trying to, I mean, I would love to be there, you know, but I'm not expecting that. So I just love racing. You know, I'm 29 now, so I really just enjoy rubbing elbows with other guys and try to really enjoy riding the dirt bike every day as a hobby rather than as a job. And like, I'm here as a job. So try to look at it differently, have more fun, you know, laugh with other guys, you know, it's not so cutthroat, you know, so it's a privilege to race dirt bikes, so.
That's it. I always say that. When I cruise through the privateer pits, it's usually the happiest bunch of guys. I think the fans are always like, they don't have the factory bike and they're so bummed.
Yeah.
But usually you guys are enjoying it because you still are riding dirt bikes all summer.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's more stressful, but when you look at it, you know, flip the roll around, it's fun.
Cool. All right, that's Ben LeMay, 42, working on his own bike. He'll have a mechanic to help push him to the line tomorrow. and we'll return you to your regularly scheduled show with me. So that's Ben LeMay. He will have a friend here helping push his bike to the gate, but otherwise everything is on him. There's a 1 hour break between motos. Somebody's got to help the guy cool off and get the bike ready for Moto 2. What a fantastic championship, by the way, we have brewing in this 250 class. I've heard a lot of industry people mention how veteran-like this entire 250 field has become. You've got a series of guys over the age of 25 doing well in the 250s. In fact, RJ Hampshire at 24 is the only sub-25-year-old in the top 5 in points. You got the Martin brothers, you got McElrath and Ferrandis. So these are guys that have been around for a while, and you can see it when Ferrandis and Jeremy Martin go at it. These are guys that know what they're doing. They had that fantastic second moto battle at Millville. So the real question is this: all year, by Jeremy's own admission, Ferrandis has been the faster guy. Martin was able to match his speed at the last race at Millville. So is that Martin's heart and will and determination and improvement week to week now matching Ferrandis? Or was that just a little bit of home cooking at Millville? I'd asked Ferrandis after the last race, were you surprised that Jeremy was able to stay with you the whole moto? And he said, not at all. It's his home track. I have a track at my house. If we had a race there, I wouldn't give up if someone was trying to beat me. So we're going to see, can Martin replicate that performance? Can he match Ferrandis' pace? Because I think, again, this is Martin saying this, Ferrandis has been the faster guy all year, and there's only 3 points between them. So this is a spectacular battle. And one other note, Alex Martin has said there is a big financial bonus to get third in the championship, and he's locked in a dogfight with Hampshire and McElrath for that. And also shout out to the Lawrence brothers. Jet, he keeps coming this close to an overall podium. He keeps getting fourths. He gets some third in motos, but can't replicate it in moto number 2. So maybe Jet gets on the box. And quietly, his brother Hunter, who battled RJ Hampshire for the win here at WW Ranch at the USGP a couple of years ago. So Hampshire is good at this track, but also Hunter Lawrence is starting to get back to 100%. He was quietly a top 5-ish runner last week at Millville. You know he likes this place. So Hunter Lawrence could make some noise. Don't be surprised. And obviously don't rule out Hampshire, who's a Florida native through and through and has won here before when the GP was here. So lots of stories to follow. This is amazing to have the championships up for grabs like this in both classes with 3 races left starting here. It's the GEICO WW Ranch National tomorrow. Enjoy your first look. It's all brought to you by 60 Helmets, committed to the relentless pursuit of better brain protection. See you Saturday.